How's it going? I'm Sir Funny Bo Tom, and I'm counting down my top 5 games of 2014. First, I think I should address why it's top 5 and not top 10. And it's simple. I really couldn't come up with a list of 10 games that came out this year that I really enjoyed playing. I got to like 7 and decided they'd be weird to do a top 7. So I'm going to do a top 5. Obviously, it needs to be a game that came out this year, so 2014, and it can't be a remastered version. Now, when I say it can't be remastered, I mean one of the games where, they just basically redo the art and then nothing else. No big changes have been made, no significant add-ons. And it can't be like a Game of the Year edition. That excludes a lot of games, Technically, I didn't play a lot of those, but that's fine because, a lot came out this year, especially this year. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Alright, on my number 5 is The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I know what you're thinking, this is a remake, but it's not. They did a lot of changes, they took out items, put in items, they added new characters and all that stuff. So that's really what's important, that they did work and made it from the ground up, I assume. Or they may have used assets from the original, but it's not the same thing. Now, I got into The Binding of Isaac after Wrath of the Lamb, and I was really happy to find out that they were going to be making a new one, and I was also very happy to find out that it was going to be a PlayStation Plus, and so that motivated me to get a PlayStation when I did. And this is a really good dungeon crawler. It's fun, and it can be a little, childish at times with all the poop that you fight, but it's also, I don't know, it's fun. All the neat references, of course, the biblical stuff and the other things, culture, and I just thought that this was a very good predecessor to the original Binding of Isaac, which I also thought was a lot of fun and easily deserves being on my top 5 of 2014. At number 4, I have Nidhogg. Now, Nidhogg is a really, and I can't stress this enough, really fun fighting game. Of course, it's like a jousting game, I guess is more specific, but it's super simplistic, very retro styling, and it's actually so retro that there is no real reason this couldn't have been on like a Genesis or Super Nintendo, or hell, maybe even a Nintendo, I don't know, but it's a great thing to just play with some friends or play against an AI. It's a nice art style and super easy controls and moves very fluidly. It's a very fun, very easy to pick up party game, I guess in the best way to say it. Although I mostly played it alone, I still think that this is easily one of the best games that came out this year. At number 3, I have Titanfall. Now, Titanfall, though you very likely may have played it, or maybe you didn't, is a first-person shooter, although it did actually do some interesting things, that having giant mech suits. And although not everyone loved this game, I personally felt it did everything that they promised it was going to do. It was a refreshing take on the first-person shooter genre, and to me, it was one of the first promises kept in the new generations of games. It came out pretty much when they said it was going to come out, and it did everything that they said it was going to do. I enjoyed this game. I didn't play any of the DLCs, but I did spend plenty of days playing this game, and I thought it was very well done, very fluid and fast-paced, and it was fun, and that is really what's super important to me about video games, and it's fun. No, there wasn't a single player, there wasn't really a story, but that doesn't always matter. What really matters is the game is fun. In this game, it was fun. Coming up as the runner-up for this year for me was Abyss Odyssey. Abyss Odyssey is a side-scrolling action game with some platforming elements and also some RPG elements. Now, it's very likely you didn't hear about this game. It was kind of a small release. I don't know how well it did, but there was no physical copy. It wasn't AAA, but it was actually just something that I really wanted. At the time, I was looking to play some type of fantasy game that wasn't Skyrim, basically, a game I hadn't played so many times, and I found this. I heard about it on a podcast the day before it came out. It came out, and I bought it. I also bought it just to do a first impressions on my old channel, and that did decent, got like 80 views, but that's not relevant. What is relevant is I liked it. It was fun, the art style, very watercolor-esque, and I don't know, it was fun. There's a lot of interesting mechanics in it, like capturing enemies and then playing as them. It was a fun game, and it was also somewhat difficult. It got easier as you got better at it, obviously, but it was just a fun game to play, and it was a breath of fresh air for me. It was just during a time where I was not having fun playing games, and I sunk hours into this game. Like, I'd say about for a week or two straight, this is all I played, and I loved it. Alright, so before I get on to the game that I thought was the best that I played for 2014, I have a few honorable mentions I will mention quite briefly. So first of all is Trials Fusion. Now, I wasn't a fan of the original Trials or HD or the other one, which I can't remember its name now. It's not like because I thought they were bad games, because I did not play them. I don't really like motorcycles or anything like that, and I don't really like the side-scrolling racing style games or whatever you call them, but they are fun to play, and that I know. And so I wanted to get Trials Fusion. Now, I did a Let's Play of the main courses on my previous channel, and it was really fun. I gotta say, one of my favorite things was having people in your friends list be like ghost racers that you could race your scores against. And I gotta say, going up against one of my friends' AI was really what got me through a lot of those tougher tracks, and it's just a real fun game. The next thing I want to mention is Super Time Force. I will say I didn't love Super Time Force while I was playing it, but I did know, and this is why it's on here, is because it was very creative. It's not your traditional just side-scrolling shooting game. You gotta actually plan out some stuff, die, and then reload, come back, and fight along with your previous selves. And I just thought that was a really neat thing to do in a game. And now, a few other things, and these are games that I played this year, but they didn't come out this year. Now, this is why they're honorable mentions, and they're not actually part of the top 5. So the first thing I want to talk about is Dark Souls. I started playing Dark Souls like a year or so ago, and I did not like it. I hated it. But finally, after like just keep going at it, I fell in love with the game. I really think it's fun. I did not beat it. I still play it from time to time. It is hard, but it is really good. Oh my god, that is a good game, and I understand the hype now. And then finally it was FTL. I think this came out in 2012. It may come out early 2013, but I played a lot of this game this year, my bad, and never beat it, but it's just fun. It's just a fun strategy game, and it's hard, but it is awesome. I believe it's on iPad now, I think. So, if maybe you don't have a computer to play PC games with, or you've looked at it and think, maybe the price is just a little too much, I don't think it's too bad. Maybe pick it up on that. I don't know. I haven't played that version. All I know is that it doesn't. The touchscreen doesn't work when I try to play it on my Surface, but that's because I didn't buy it from the marketplace and it's not optimized. That version isn't, but the iPad version probably is optimized for a touchscreen. I would assume so, at least. Alright, so finally it's here. The best game, in my opinion, that came out in the year of 2014. It was, drumroll, I'm not going to put one in, but pretend there is one, the Banner Saga. I really thought this game was just awesome. I mean, really fun. One of the best looking games I've ever played. I don't mean graphically, because it's actually kind of simplistic, but the art, it was breathtaking. The music in the game, the dialogue, the story, the world, everything was fun. I don't usually play turn-based strategy games, but this one, it was good. It was hard. It was some challenging elements to it, but it was really just, it was amazing. The choices you made, you really felt the impact of them. You really felt like when you're running out of food and all your people are dying, you're just feeling that it's bad. I mean, you think it's in a bad moment, and it is. People are cold, and it's touching. The characters are well written. It's beautiful. That's one of the main things I loved about it so much, was the beauty of the game. It was really something that I didn't play a lot at a time. I just sat down and played it for like an hour or so every night or so, but when I did, I felt relaxed and I was having fun, and that's something that I think games should be about, was something to unwind with. Yeah, it's fine to have action-packed Twitch shooting or whatever, but it's fun to just sometimes just calm down and enjoy a game, for what it is and all its elements. And I thought this game was perfect in every way. Like, it was everything that I like in a game. It was beautiful, it was fun, and it had beautiful sounds, great dialogue and characters in the world. I mean, it's everything that you want in a story and in entertainment. It's just great, and I definitely recommend this game. beyond any other game that came out this year, the Banner Saga, in my opinion, was the best one.